Damn, son, where'd you find this?
Rock and roll has obviously been around for a lot longer than I thought. And I've learned so much this evening, and I didn't expect to. And I hope that I can carry on the course. And because there's obviously a lot to learn. And for the star of this evening, for Little Richard, I just want to tell him that I think I'm old enough now to come to your room. You know, when Little Richard walked onto the stage, I thought for a minute he was Keith Moon. I think they're the same person. It's been great. It's been great to see so many people that I know and would like to know. I've got a lot of paper here. Keith Richards once told me that I think too much. The truth is that I think generally I talk too much, but I don't think first. And faced with injecting the Rolling Stones this evening, I realised that thinking isn't going to help me very much, and I can't hope to. You know, Ahmet said a lot of things, and I just thought I'm just going to have to go up there and say it all again, but in a slightly different way. I can't analyse what I feel about the Stones because I'm really an absolute Stone fan of the Stones, always have been. Their early shows were just shocking, absolutely riveting and stunning and moving, and they changed my life completely. The Beatles were fun, there's no doubt about that. And no, I'm talking about their live shows, you know, I'm not demeaning them in any way. But the Stones were really what made me wake up. At the Beatles shows there were lots of screaming girls, and at the Stones, I think the Stones were the first to have a screaming boy. And the sheer force of the Stones on stage and that perfectly balanced audience, 1,000 girls and me, it kind of singled them out. They're the only group I've ever really been unashamed about idolising, apart from today, a new idolisation of Little Richard begins. And each of them in their own way has given me something as an artist and as a person, as a fan. And it'd be crazy to suggest that any of the things that they gave me were wholesome, practical, or useful. Even Bill Wyman hurt me. And not really because I'm jealous of the female company he keeps. No. He got such a big advance for this book he's doing about the Stones' life. The book's obviously expected to sell more copies than the last couple of Stones albums. You've heard how much he got. You've heard how much they sold. It's a wonder Ahmet even bothered, really. Charlie wounded me in the last year by having a much more dramatic drug problem than mine. Keith had a much more dramatic cure. And Brian Jones hurt me by not bothering to take a cure. Because I loved him a lot. He was very, very important to me. He was the first real star who befriended me in a real way. I spent a lot of time with him before I really got to know Mick and Keith, who I love very much now. But I hung out with him quite a lot, and I missed him terribly, and I always felt that when he finally did collapse, that the Stones were a very different group. Mick gave me something too. A bad case of VD. Sorry, no. No, it's wrong. Mick's CD had a bad case. It says here. And I suppose that's really a complaint for you blokes at VBS now. And Ronnie Wood, of course, is now a Rolling Stone. I can't help but think of him as the new boy. And it's wonderful to note that, due to his tender age, he still has his own teeth. But I did notice that tonight they've been set into what looks like someone else's face. Will the Stones ever work again? On an early British TV show, the producer took Andrew Luke Oldham, who I said, "Hi Andrew, great to see you, haven't seen you for 40 million years." Andrew, the wonderful Andrew, Luke Oldham aside, and advised him to sack the singer. I don't know whether you know this. I'm glad that after all these years, the lads in the group have finally seen fit to take his advice. Hey, I'm having fun now. The Stones have made some great records, and everyone will know that it isn't easy to make great records. A few people here, close to the Stones, will know that sometimes it isn't easy to make records at all. And I'm not just saying that because Charlie isn't here. But we have a great legacy from the Stones, and it remains primarily with Atlantic Records, despite the wonderful CBS deal of a couple of years ago for the Stones. In fact, Walter asked me to take this opportunity to urge the lads to hurry forward and take advantage of the new vistas offered at VBS Records for the boys. Because Armit and me now, with little to gain financially, we'd agree with him. It won't be easy for the Stones next time round, and if it wasn't for the vast sums of money they can make, they might not bother at all, really. Or at least Mick probably wouldn't. So it's lucky for us fans, then, that Mick has such expensive tastes. Because the Stones feel to me as though they still have a future. And this is at a time, I'm probably just speaking as a fan here, but that's how I feel. And this is a future at a time when most sensible artists of their age are doing this kind of thing. It's so easy. You get a room, air ticket. Seriously, whatever they do, they can only embellish an already sinister reputation for miracles. And to Mick, Keith, Charlie, Bill, and Ronnie, to Mick Taylor, and of course to the late Brian Jones, and the late Ian Stewart. I don't know how many of you know Ian. I offer thanks on all our behalves. Without you all there wouldn't have been a London R&B scene at all in the 60s. That's what I feel. What there was of it wouldn't have come to much. And that's where I grew up. And then later grew strangely down. But in a way, it's where a big part of me still is. And where Jimmy Reed and John Lee Hooker cannot be regarded as rock and roll enough to induct here just yet, no matter. Their musical blood runs in the veins of this band we honour tonight. And so to the Stones and all the as yet uninducted black R&B artists, and I've put here, they ripped off, that they were influenced by, I offer solidarity. That's how I feel. I mean, it's been so great to see all these different threads come together. And for me, this evening, it's been, as I said, an education. So much of what I am, I got from you, the Stones, and I had no idea most of it was already second-hand. Seriously, the Stones, no more gags. The Stones are the greatest for me. There's some wonderful artists we've seen tonight, many other inducted in the past, many will be in the future. There are some giant artists here tonight. But the Stones will always be the greatest for me. They epitomise British rock for me, and even though they're all now my friends, I'm still a fan. Guys, whatever you do, don't try and grow old gracefully. It wouldn't suit you.
I don't know, Pete Townsend. Thank you, Pete. He said at the end, I think, that now we're all his friends. I'm not quite sure after that speech whether we are all his friends anymore. Next year, Pete, it's a sobering thought that you're going to be in this sort of hot shoe here. So, you know, someone else is going to wind you up like that. So. I did have some things to say. I wanted to thank very much Ahmed and Jan Wenner and the committee for electing us to the Waxworks of Rock. Now that Jan has finished his house in East Hampton and Ahmed's finished his house in Turkey, I hope they can get down to building the Phantom Temple of Rock in Cleveland. I particularly look forward to visiting the Alan Klein wing, where the best examples of repackaging will be housed. You know, it's slightly ironic that tonight we're all on it. You see us on our best behaviour, but we're being rewarded for 25 years of bad behaviour. There's also a bit of music on the side, but I have to be slightly sappy, I suppose, and I must say I'm very proud to work with this group of musicians for 25 years. And as you know, tonight we have Mick Taylor with us, and also we're very pleased to welcome him. Bill and Charlie couldn't make it, but we're pleased to be with Ronnie, with Keith and myself. The other thing I'm very proud of is the songs that Keith and I have written over the last 25 years. I'd like to pay tribute to two people who can't be here tonight. One, Ian Stewart, a great friend, a great blues pianist, whose odd but invaluable musical advice kept us on a steady bluesy course for most of the time. And to Brian Jones, whose individuality and musicianship often took us off the bluesy course with some often marvellous results. Jean Cocteau said that Americans are funny people. First you shock them, then they put you in a museum. Well, we're not quite ready to hang up the number yet. So on behalf of the Stones, I'd like to thank you very much for this award.
Yeah, my turn. Huh? A few disconnected thoughts, right? I'd like to say thank you to Leo Fender for making the goddamn things we gotta play, right? You know, those guitars, man. That's, I mean, to me, being a guitar player, that's very important. I'd like to say thank you, Leo. I'd like to say thank you, Mick. I'd like to say, and Mick, and Ron, Ahmed especially, for putting up with those 16 years. And also, of course, although Pete's beat me to the punch here, Ian Stewart, because I still feel like I'm working for him. It's his band. I work for him, you know? I'd like to thank you all.
Words, right?
And then
Words.
again, words. there's myself, who's part of my face, Pete, belongs to Mick Taylor here. Who I'm going to force to say a few words now. But I mean, first of all, I should be so lucky. The company is exceptional. And I couldn't be with a better band. Mick Taylor on behalf of myself and Brian.
Thank you. Thank you, everybody. It's a great honor for me to participate in this event. And first of all, though, I'd like to especially say a thank you for Charlie and Bill, who I know would appreciate this very deeply, but are unavoidably detained and can't be here tonight. But anyway, we all really appreciate it very much, more than words can say. Thank you very much.
Fig, check it out.
So Byron Queen in Memphis. I tried to take her upstairs for the ride. I had to leave her right across my shoulder. I just don't say she drank you on my mind. It's a she colored me and rolled out. She bled my nose and then she blew my mind. Yeah, these motherfuckers. It's all right. Give me the honky-tonk blues.
Okay, here goes, start me up. Check. Where's Womack? Got Womack. Where's my Womack?
On satisfaction, 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 satisfaction. I can't get no.
Damn, son, where'd you find this?